Applications of refrigeration and air conditioning. Applications of refrigeration are food processing, preservation and distribution, chemical and process industry, and some of the special applications are there. And air conditioning is used in industrial and comfort conditions. Now, firstly, we will see the application of refrigeration in food processing, preservation and distribution. Some of the applications regarding the food processing, preservation and distributions are storage of raw fruits and vegetable, fish, meat and poultry, dairy products, beverage and candy. Let us see one by one. First one is the storage of raw fruits and vegetables. It is well known that some bacteria are responsible for degradation of foods, and enzymatic processing causes ripening of the fruits and vegetables. The growth of bacteria and the rate of enzymatic processes are reduced at low temperature. This helps in reducing the spoilage and improving the shelf life of the food. If the fruits are stored at low temperature, their shelf life will be increases. Second one is the fish. In India, ice fish is still transported by rail and road, and retail stores store it for a short period of time by this method. Third one is meat and poultry. This item also require refrigeration right after slaughter, during the processing, packaging. Short-term storage is done at 0 degree centigrade and long-term storage require freezing and storage at minus 25 degree centigrade. Then next is the dairy products. This is the most important application of refrigeration. The dairy products like milk, buttermilk and ice cream. To maintain the good quality, the milk is cooled in bulk milk cooler immediately after being taken from the cow at 10 to 15 degrees centigrade. Then it is transported to dairy farm where it is pasteurized by heating it at 73 degrees centigrade, holding it at this temperature for 20 seconds. Thereafter, it is cooled to 3 to 4 degrees centigrade. Ice cream manufacturer requires pasteurization through mixing, emulsification and stabilization, and subsequently cooling to 4 to 5 degrees centigrade. This is to be cooled to the temperature of minus 5 degrees centigrade in freezer where it stiffens, but still it remains in liquid state. Therefore, it is packed and hardened at minus 30 to minus 25 degrees centigrade until it becomes solid. And then it is stored at this temperature. Buttermilk, curd, cheese are stored at 4 to 10 degrees centigrade for increasing the shelf life of the same. Now, the beverage. Production of beer, wines and concentrated fruits juices require refrigeration. The taste of many drinks can be improved by serving them cold or by adding ice to them. Fruit juices, concentrate have been very popular because of low cost, good quality and nutritional qualities. Juices can be preserved for a long period of time than the fruits if it is preserved at low temperature. Next one is the candy. The use of chocolate in candy or its coating with chocolate requires setting at 5 to 10 degrees centigrade, otherwise it becomes sticky. So it is recommended that it is to be stored at low temperature for further test. Let us see the application of refrigeration in chemical and process industry. The industry like petroleum refinery, petrochemical plants, and paper pulp industry requires very large cooling capacity. The requirement of each industry process-wise and equipment-wise is different. Hence, refrigeration system must be different for different individual application. Some of the application of refrigeration in chemical and process industries are suppression of gases, condensation of gases, humidification of air, solidification of solute, removal of heat of reaction, cooling for preservation, recovery of solvent. Now let us see one by one. First one is the suppression of gases. In petrochemical plant, temperature as low as -150 degrees centigrade with a very high refrigeration are used for suppression of gases by fractional distillation. Some gases condense readily at low temperature from the mixture of hydrocarbon. Propane is used as a refrigerant in many of these plants for the suppression of gases. Second one is the condensation of gases. Some gases are condensed to liquid state by cooling so that these can be easily stored and transported in liquid state. For example, in synthetic ammonia plant, ammonia is condensed at -10 to 10 degrees centigrade before filling it in the cylinder for storage and shipment. This low temperature requires a refrigeration for the condensation of gases. Next one is the dehumidification of air. Low humidity air is required in many pharmaceutical industry. It is also required for air liquefaction plant. This is required to prevent the short circuit in places where the high voltage are used. Next one is the removal of heat of reaction. In many chemical reactions, efficiency is better if the reaction occurs at low temperature or below the room temperature. This requires refrigeration. If the reactions are exothermic in nature, then more refrigeration capacities are required. Production of viscous rayon and synthetic rubber are some of the examples of the removal of heat of reaction. Next one is the solidification of solute. One of the process of separation of substance or pollutant or impurity from liquid mixture is by its solidification at low temperature. Wax solidify at about -25 degrees centigrade. Storage as liquid as low pressure. Liquid occupies less space. For example, natural gas is stored at 0.7 bar and -130 degrees centigrade. Next one is the cooling for preservation. Many compound decomposes at room temperature or this evaporates at very fast rate. Certain drugs, explosives and natural rubbers can be stored for long period of time at low temperature. Next one is the recovery of solvent. In many chemical plant, solvents are used, which are usually evaporate after reaction. These can be recovered by condensation at low temperature by the refrigeration system. Some of the examples are acetone in the film manufacturing and carbon tetrachloride in textile production. This is all about the application of refrigeration in chemical and process industry. Thank you.